Hey, just Mark here. All right, so I'm actually sitting here at the vet right now waiting for Trixie as she's getting a lump removed from her paw, and we're going to get it tested, make sure everything's okay. Anyways, today I kind of want to talk about being an extrovert and why I sometimes avoid social situations and avoid people. So people always think that, being an extrovert, you're always switched on, always ready to go, always wanting to meet people. Not always the case, not always necessary. So the first thing being is I work in a call center. So I talk to people all day long, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, anywhere from 30 to 50 people, depending on how busy we are. And I deal with a wide range of personalities, from the happy to the sad to the angry to the pissed off, to people who can't pay their bills, to the people who are trying to get ahead on their bills, to the people who are trying to get really far ahead. So for me, by the time I get to the end of my day, I want quiet time. I don't want to talk to anybody. Sometimes I have a hard time responding to texts or messages for the same exact reason. I'm an extrovert, but man, I get my battery drained by the end of that day, and it makes it hard sometimes to want to go out and be involved in social situations with other people. So it's kind of strange because people think you're going to be switched on all the time, right? So another reason I struggle and I avoid people as an extrovert is that I feel that sometimes I'm expected to, change my behavior or to change myself in a situation to please other people. And that in itself leads me to feel like an inauthentic human being. And I prefer to be authentic and genuine and speak to people in a good manner and show my true self and not be a fake. And sometimes I feel in certain situations, I do have to change that behavior, and it makes me feel, uncomfortable, right? Like it doesn't feel right. In social situations, I also can get overstimulated. So if there's too much social interaction or too much going on, I'm constantly, my brain's going, I'm all over the place looking around, I'm trying to be involved in certain things. And eventually I'm so overstimulated that I don't want to be there anymore. I want to get out. And that's why actually most times when I go to an event, I never carpool. I'll always take my own car. I always want the ability to exit whenever I can. And that's actually convenient for me because then I'm not worrying about the other person I'm with, missing out on something, and sometimes I feel like I'm missing out on something, but it makes me feel better when I do that. When it comes to avoiding people or, turning off the extrovert switch, a lot of it also comes down to I do get uncomfortable with some unplanned social interactions that I not necessarily don't want to be a part of, but that just don't fit my day. And that can cause, I'm just trying to find a comfortable thing for my arm. And that makes me feel very uncomfortable. And it makes me feel like I'm in the wrong spot, that I'm going to upset people. And sometimes I just need to jet out because, again, people think that I'm always going to be switched on and ready to talk and ready to do certain things or go out. And it drives me crazy sometimes. So I avoid people because of those situations. I don't want to feel out of control in social situations. I don't want to feel uncomfortable. And I think for the most part, most people don't want to feel that way, even introverts, right? And in that case, then I generally kind of go and I need more time to recharge. So another reason I'll sometimes avoid people is I need quiet time. I need to go home, watch a movie, read a book, maybe waste some time on YouTube, play with my dog, take her for walks, because those situations have made me uncomfortable or I'm just done. Extroverts do have energy, but our energy levels and our social battery does get drained just as much as other people. And I have a desire for quiet time. I have a desire for silent time, recharging, reflecting on the day, reflecting on my life, thinking about things, and these are very, very important. And I have a strong desire for quiet time as I'm getting older. And some people don't understand that. And they think, oh, well, it's Mark. He'll come out and hang out, right? So it's just one of those things. Other reasons for me as an extrovert to avoid people is that, personally speaking, I don't want to be around a lot of negativity in my life. I've already dealt with enough of that in the last decade, and I don't I'm working on being in positive environments for myself as a person, and being around people who are always negative or demanding too much of me drives me absolutely crazy. I don't want to be around them. I want to get away from them. I want to go back to a positive situation. More often than not nowadays, I choose who I spend my time with very wisely because I want positive interactions. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I can be also a little bit socially awkward, and that's mostly come in the last year and a half. I've really worked hard to keep my peace, I guess, and drama. Oh my God, drama. I get so tired of the drama from people nowadays. There was a lot of that in the last 7 years of my life. I was always waiting for the next fight, always waiting for the next shoe to drop, the next negative thing to happen. And I don't want it anymore. I remember last year I was at an event and everybody was like talking behind each other's backs, and other people were talking about, just negative stuff that was going on in their personal lives, and it was constant. Everybody I was around that in that event, and I chose after that I can't do that. I think I went out to one more event with roughly the same group of people, and again the negativity flew out and people were talking about people, and after that I decided that I'm not going to interact as much because I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with the drama and the crap, right? And I just want to deal with good vibes and good energy and good people. I'll give you an example. I have a friend who I've known for almost 20 years. He is a fair amount older than me. I think I met him when I was in my early 30s and he was 55. And we go out every couple months for sushi. I love those interactions because he is a good friend. He is positive, and we get along really well. We joke, we rib each other, and it's a great experience, right? But I've got people I don't talk to anymore, and not because I don't care about them, but because it became too much for me to continuously have to be, I guess, a crutch. As an extrovert, I was always there. Like when I was single the first time years ago, for a couple of years, I was the guy, because I was single, I would create time for other people. I know people are married, have kids, have lives, and I would make sure that I had time for them. I'd go visit them at their place. I would conveniently be there. And then when I started dating again, I won't forget that some of these people weren't doing the same thing. Like we couldn't meet in the middle. I don't like it when I make plans and someone ditches on me. And there's a lot of things. But I think at the end of the day, the main reason I avoid people now as an extrovert is that I'm just so exhausted from talking to people all day long. And I don't want drama. I think those are the top two things. I don't want drama, and I talk to people all day long for 8 hours. I just don't want to do it anymore. So anyways, that's just my thoughts on that. If you have any questions, if you're an introvert, extrovert, share your comments down below. I'd like to know, because I'm curious what makes you avoid people. Anyways, cheers. I'm going to wait for my dog, and I'll see you on the next one.